bit of disregard, handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everyone can see these scars. I am what I want you to want, what I want you to feel, but it's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you to just believe this is real. So let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got.
I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. Time won't change this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored.
A little bit insecure, a little unconfident, cause you don't understand to do what I can, but sometimes I don't make sense. I am what you never want to say, but I've never had a doubt. It's like no matter what I do, I can't convince you for once just to hear me out. So let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend that I'm not, but I'll be here cause you're all that I got.
I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. Time won't change this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. No, hear me out now. You're gonna listen to me like it or not. Right now, hear me out now. You're gonna listen to me like it or not. Right now. I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. I can't feel the way I did before. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. Time won't change this damage anymore. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. I can't feel. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored. Time won't change. Don't turn your back on me, I won't be ignored.
Soulja Boy tough. Hey, I got this new dance for y'all called the Soulja Boy. You just gotta punch, then crank back 3 times from left to right. Soulja Boy in that hoe. Why me crank it? Why me roll? Why me crank that Soulja Boy? That Superman that hoe. Now why me you crank that soul? 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 Now why me Soulja Boy up in that hoe? Why me crank it? Why me roll? Why me crank that Soulja Boy? That Superman that hoe. Now why me you crank that soul? 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 Now why me Soulja Boy up in that hoe? Why me lean and why me rock? Superman that hoe. Then why me crank that Robocop? Super friend, now why me jocking on them haters, man. When I do that Soulja Boy, I lean to left, then crank that thing. Now you, I'm jocking on your bitch ass. And if we get to fighting, then I'm cocking on your bitch ass. You catch me at your local party, yes, I crank it every day. Haters getting mad cause I got me some baby day. Soulja Boy up in that hoe. Why me crank it? Why me roll? Why me crank that Soulja Boy? That Superman that hoe. Now why me you crank that soul? 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 Now why me Soulja Boy up in that hoe? Why me crank it? Why me roll? Why me crank that Soulja Boy? That Superman that hoe. Now why me you crank that soul? 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 Now why I'm bouncing on my toe? Why me super soak that hoe? I'ma pass to A-Rab and he gon' pass to the low. Haters wanna be me, Soulja Boy, I'm the man. They be looking at my neck, saying it's them rubber band, man. Why me do it? Dance, let's get to it. No, you can't do it like me, ho. So don't do it like me, fo. I seen you try to do it like